Running out of really long. How? My longest how ever. Higurashi time, guys. Are you ready? Ah, bless. The audio is working. Listen here now. Yes, you guys can hear Higurashi now. When they cry. You can hear the fucking cicadas. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. You guys are a bunch of dicks sometimes. But the main thing is from me separating the audio and how you record, so that way it's actually separate. Taking shots for figuring out. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna explain the technical details after all, because you guys suck. Just be glad we can't throw things at you like Chibi Doki. Yeah. Sucks that I don't got tits. Anyways. I'm glad we can all have fun. I think I looked at all the tips, right? Community notice? Maybe I didn't look at this yet. Which is fair, because it's almost 1 AM. We still love you. You better still love me. Yeah, okay, I don't think I've read this. Regretting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. I don't fight me. Listen, I just caught on to what you meant by Higger, so... The title? The stream title, because we changed games? Cotton. Cotton Festival. I got distracted. Thanks guys. Regretting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. On this day, when it feels like summer will soon arrive, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. I'm not in good health. What about me? The season for the Watanagashi is finally upon us. I believe the assistance of the town council will make a wonderful festival. That's racist. Children. Nero. Please. I also wish to ask for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. 1. Collecting bazaar goods. We look forward to a well-received Hinamizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition, holding a massive collection of excess goods and used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management. Makino Tel. Let's call that phone number right now. 2. Recruiting little festival drum dancers. The renowned Little Festival Drum Dancers group, known for its careful choreography, the Shofu Society, is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any Showboat elementary and middle schoolers. Management, Kimayoshi. Ooh, another phone number for us to try to call, guys. Will go so well. 3. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in multiples of thousands yen. The freaking cicadas, I swear. I could start an orchestra with how loud they are. I just realized they spelled little right. Is that how little's actually supposed to be spelled? It looks silly. For every 1,000 yen donation, you'll be awarded with a refreshment stand ticket. Management, Sonozaki, and yet another phone number for us to very successfully call. Yes. It looks ugly, spelt correctly. Anyways, we're always taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival at all times. If you have an interesting idea, call Kimiyoshi at another phone number we can totally call right now. There's a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. I mean, there's just a little bun, which is also good. Just a little bun. Just a little banui. Little bun. Not to mention the sound team only made them a loop on one track who sampled this. Give me like 5 different cicada sounds. Now I have this on a loop in my head. That sounds very much so like a you problem, Nero. Cicadas. Re. I mean, cicadas do be wildin' like that. A few days had passed since the incident. During that time, either Mion was busy or Rika-chan had to help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everybody together for club activities. I'm so used to people 86ing the catastrophe, I generally forgot little is technically supposed to be spelled that way. 86ing the apostrophe. What did I say? I definitely didn't say apostrophe. I hate you, that's exactly how they sound. Cicadas, re. Indeed. You said catastrophe. I'm just already mentally prepared for Higurashi, that's all. I am a catastrophe. No. Imagine hearing that all the time. The cicadas? Putting the cat in catastrophe. They weren't lying, the Higurashi do be crying. Yeah, they're wailing. Even though I thought I would never want to participate again after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. You already knew that, Keiichi. You fucking murderer. Today we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Watanagashi 5-Demon Firefight. And it was one of the biggest events in the club. Keiichi, does the yukata still fit you? Can you try it on for a second? Mom pulled an old dusty yukata. Nah, I don't need a yukata. Those are embarrassing, so I'll just go in my normal clothes. But this is a festival. Wear it, okay? Rena and the others said regular clothes are just fine. If I was the only one wearing a yukata, it'd be even more embarrassing. I put on the same old vest as usual. I'll be going with Rena and the others, so you don't need to worry about me. Is that so? I'll be going with Dad when he wakes up. Dad let out a loud snore from the sofa. Just like Spooky! From how it looks, he must have pulled an all-nighter last night. He just finished sending in his manuscript, so he might not wake up for a while. It seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes too. I never read it though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. Since his own son is saying something like that, I can't imagine his selling all that well. But it's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. It could be that he's some master painter, and I didn't know about it. Ding dong. Keiichi-kun, are you home? Uh-oh, it was already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside. Oh my, it's Rena-chan. Thank you for always looking after Keiichi. Ma'am, he's also been looking out from... Why are you blushing just from meeting my mom? Don't get all flustered. It really doesn't feel right. Let's go, Rena. Since Rena would continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out. Rena-chan, look after Keiichi for me. Oh, yes, ma'am. Even if it means I must sacrifice myself. Can't be saying shit like that right now? Then why don't you do it right now? She waved back even as I was dragging her away. Is that foreshadowing? Maybe? Perchance? Okay, Kei-chan. You hungry today? We'll have to take care of that at these stalls. You thought I'd let myself get full knowing the club activities will involve the stalls? Oh, who am I kidding? This entire chapter is foreshadowing. I mean... wouldn't have it any other way. Where are Rika-chan and Satoko? Are they already at the temple? Yep, Rika-chan's a festival committee member after all. Satoko-chan is probably with her as well. I see. Alright. Let's make some noise today. Yeah! We're already in high spirits with just the three of us there. It was way more lively at the Furude Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable. There are lots of people here. I can't believe they all live in Hinamizawa. Everybody attends the Watanagashi. I think about half the village is there. It's not just that. Municipal and youth councils from neighboring towns and villages advertise this event as well. That's right, there aren't that many students at our school. But there are a lot of kids here today. It just doesn't feel like a festival unless there are kids running around after all. That's true, I agree. Hello and good evening. Those two knew everybody we came across. Of course I greeted them as well, but I still wasn't familiar with everybody yet. Oh, Rena-chan, thanks for the food you brought me a while back. My son loved it. He said it was delicious. It was nothing at all. I'm glad he liked it. Say hello to Kazuma-kun for me, please. Hey, if it isn't Sonozaki Ojo-chan. I'm in charge of a stand again this year, so make sure you come visit. Pops, have you gotten fatter? You'll end up having a heart attack with a gut like that. Oh, this kid here is new. Are you one of her underclassmen? He's one of my members. An upcoming hopeful. If you cross him, he could crush your stand in one night. You got a little Missy's seal of approval, I see. Hope you take it easy on me. As you can imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls. Mia-chan is really energetic after all. She's really popular with the older men. Sus. I think Rena is pretty popular too, being cute and all. That was, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. But as long as she's blushing quietly, she's pretty cute. I'm popular with some people? Really? Really? With some people. I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tousling her hair. Where is Hifumichu when I need her? I don't know words. The stall keepers came all the way from town. It's not really a festival without them after all. So we're going to mess with them now? I don't care what kind of match it is, I'm going to win it! Oh yes, I'll try too. Hey, you're all very late. It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiichi-san. Oh, my bad. So where's this lady I've kept waiting? What did you just say? Alright, Satoko was in top form as well. Seemed she was all excited about being able to get everybody in the club together for the first time in a while. Oh, Rika-chan, cute. Rena let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real Lady had made her appearance. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Katie as well. Woo! Looking good. You're looking sharp again this year. Cute! Gonna take you home. Rika-chan was wearing a Shrine Maiden outfit. Yup. Rena's little outburst was completely understandable. Rika-chan's clothes sure look like the real deal. Is that a real Shrine Maiden outfit? My grandmother made them by hand. They're quite authentic. Rika-chan has an important task to do at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this. I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the Shrine Maiden rituals of the festival. For the festival. I can read, so good. My work is only during the finale of the festival, so I can still play for a while. But we cannot afford to waste any time. Let us begin. Alright. It felt good to wander around the festival with just the 5 of us. Mion called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Takoyaki eating race! Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go! A standard in vendor stalls. The takoyaki stand. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were only simply balls of dough, takoyaki in name only. Oh, well that's kinda sad. Not that it wouldn't be any good, but like, sad. It burns! Are you okay, Keiichi-kun? Have some water. My, eating those scalding takoyaki whole is suicide. I guess the trick is to buy the ready-made ones so that have been left there for a while. They really don't taste good. The stall next to it was the shaved ice stand. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter. Let's do shaved ice this time. It's a shaved ice eating race. Ready? Go! Shaved ice eating race? I can't. As long as you can melt it a bit with your body heat, then... This fucking music. Yeah. It's so cold! Would it be out of place in initial tea? I mean, they are doing a food eating race, so close enough. Not smart. This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup. It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head on was their downfall. Phew. Finished! Kei-chan is done? That was too fast. It couldn't be. Keiichi-kun, you didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, did you? That can't taste very good. Next to that was another old favorite. A cotton candy stand. Why don't we do this one next? Of course, it's a speed eating contest. Hey, how do you eat cotton candy quickly? How? On Satoko's mark, Mion, Satoko, and I all compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. The time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths? 3 seconds! I expected Satoko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kei-chan would too. I can't have you treating me like I'm a newbie forever, can I? It won't taste very good. Rika-chan had also crushed it between her hands and stuck it into her mouth. This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Rena's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten. But it felt like we'd end up doing stuff like eat noodles through the nose contest, or human water pump out the goldfish scoop at the rate things were going. This old man would probably still win too. I'm simply no match for Neon-san when it comes to eating repulsive things. Yeah, seriously. What's up with you guys? Are you telling me you don't want to have a blue Hawaii topped yakisoba eating contest? Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison. Can we have a game that doesn't involve food this time? Can we? Rena's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena nor Rika-chan were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves. Okay, Rena, I'll let you pick out the next game. Anything is fine. Well then, I'm going to be the judge. Find cute things on the festival grounds. You have 1 minute. Fine by me. I know exactly what Rena likes. Alright. I think I could win with that. Ready? Go! Oh? Why aren't Keiichi-kun and Rika-chan starting? Why not? Neon and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we were. Could it be you already found it? The cute thing? You've already found it. Keiichi, too? Yeah. What is it? What is it? I can't wait. Both Rika-chan and I stood motionless for those few moments before Neon and Satoko returned. This is probably the first time we've gone head-to-head like this. It'll be the first. Rika-chan, you expect to win with that, huh? Vibin'. Absolutely. I am a member of this club as well. Win by any means is our society's third rule. Rika-chan, you sneered to the best of her ability. You're on! Both Mio and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms. Okay then, let's go in order. Let's start with the club president, Mi-chan. Too bad, you guys. I'm ending this now. This old man brought this! Where did she get those? They were old tin diamond-shaped signs. Pleb curry, snake coil incense, and ornament C. How about this? That's very understated. A little too understated, Neon. Nice to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? Well, there were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out of Rena's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it. I shall be up next. It is this! It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies Society's roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. Bleep. That was the sound of blood jetting out of Rena's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde about 5 Eons. Oh, those were nothing but mass-produced signs after all. They had no chance against something hand-drawn. I couldn't even begin to follow the way these guys were thinking. Then I'll be next. Next is Rika-chan, is it? What could you even do without anything? Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika-chan felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Rena. Saying that, both Mion and Satoko gasped. Oh no! Too late. Rika-chan tripped over nothing and lay motionless after falling down. Rena hurried over to her. Rika-chan, are you alright? Alright? Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead, and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made a single sound. Meow. Oh, cute, cute. Going to take you home. I'd completely forgotten that. The play that I personally had to use. Rena's face went completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheek against her. Rika trips over nothing. Me, all same. I'd expect no less from her. Not a single element was overlooked. Lolly, Shrine Maiden, Brink of Crying, Mew. It was perfect. A simple trap, transcended into pure moe. Now this is what you call art. Kei-chan has a pretty weird definition of art. I'll just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Rika-chan turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Rena, who was in full cute mode. Now, Keiichi, can you beat me? The cold smile is frightening Rika-chan. It might just be in my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. Kei-chan seems to have his own plan of attack. I wonder what he's going to show her. I also wish to observe the play Keiichi-san will make. Could it be? Is Keiichi also going to give a performance? I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika-chan. Isn't this the visual novel known for school children brutally murdering each other? Perhaps. Oh, cute thing, Keiichi-kun, let go. I'll show you something even cuter, so just hold on for now. Huh? Oh, is this something even cuter? But it's a bit too crowded here. Let's go back there. Rena looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine. I cannot fathom what Keiichi-san could possibly be planning. This is Kei-chan after all. No, it couldn't be. Keep on fighting, yeah! After a bit, I returned. And a bit after that, so did Rena, dragging her feet. There's no way that scoundrel Kei-chan did something to innocent little Rena. Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Rena. But what exactly did he do to you? For a moment, Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her. Huh? How? Oh, it's me, John. How? Rena, are you alright? Did Kei-chan do anything to you? No, he didn't do anything strange to me. How? This is quite severe. Exactly what did Kei-san show you? It was so cute. How? Cute? What did he show you, Rena? Rena let out a really long how. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke. Cute, so cute. Ah. Whamp. Whomp. At the blink of an eye, Mion and Satoko's elbow smashed into my face. Huh? How? What? What? My longest how. She's showing Rena something so dirty. You sick pervert. I shall have you beat into oblivion. Wait, you've got it all wrong. A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me! Maybe not in this lifetime. Mii-chan, I'm not sure what's going on, but you've got it all wrong. You see, Keiichi-kun had... It's a fur seal keychain. Rika-chan stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain. Eh? He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments. He said he doesn't show it off too often because it's embarrassing. Yeah, so small and cute. He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful. I want to see the keychain, honestly. Oh. This old man thought you meant it was Keiichi's cute little fur seal. I expect no less from Neon-san. You misconstrued things in the wildest ways. They slung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you, if I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? We were interrupted by the flash of a camera. Hey guys. You all seem energetic as usual. It was Tomitake-san. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rena was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene. It was a fine evening indeed, although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission. That's right. At least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Hrunk! Satoko dug her heel into me. Good evening. You're heading back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos? Thanks to you. I got plenty of good shots. Tonight's the last we get to see you, old Tomitake-sama, isn't it? It's such a shame. Hurry up and have your major breakout soon. Just as rude as ever, aren't you? I really am sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year. Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow, after all. That's true. It'll be another 6 months, until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitake-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomitake-san? In Hinamizawa. Tomitake-san was speechless. It's not very convenient here. No shops, or recreational spots. Whoops. There might not be anything really here, but you know. Everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitake-san was also well aware. Serena, Mion, Satoko, and Riko-chan. None of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Normally I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting. It felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance. This place is probably... Tomitake-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me. Thank you, Keiichi-kun. Mion-chan and Rana-chan. Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Tomitake-san's smile was so slight, it looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute, but it was warm. I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Rena. Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults. It's not nice. The background clamor of the festival returned. We won't be seeing him for a while after all. We need to make sure Tomitake-san also enjoys tonight. When Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter. That's true. I think I'll just do that. I'll do just that. Words. Hey Mi-chan, how about it? Can we let Tomitake-san in our club activities? That's a great idea, or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face. One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see. Come on, Mie-chan. Just for today, don't be mean. Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen. Well, yay! Isn't Tomitake like 30 years old? I don't know. Google it. Now then, I wonder if this aged fellow well past his prime will be a match for me. Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult. Can you keep up with us, youngins? Tomitake-san stepped back slightly at her audacious grins. I, Mion Sonozaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitake's entry into our club. Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers. What do you mean by club? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I prefer you not to single me out. Let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity. Yeah, the When They Cry wiki says probably 30s. I guess that makes sense. We'll leave you with nothing. You won't even leave the hairs on your butt. So it's a club where we play games together. Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense. Alright, just what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors. Tomitake-san got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect. We continued walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now we looked like a family of 6. And had some intensity to it. Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomitake-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was. Just don't lose! Rena was also brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing. That's true. I tousled Rena's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment. I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomitake-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man cry out. What? At that moment, we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival. You're here, little Miss Sonozaki. Seems you brought quite the crowd. We came to eradicate your entire stall. His stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun. The rules are simple. 3 shots, the winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everybody shouted their agreement. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize at the stall, it went without question. It was that one, wasn't it? Well, that teddy bear, cute. Rena was gazing longingly at a large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it if you hit the right spot. It's magnificently set up to make someone think that. Not bad, Keiichi-san. I figured you would see through this scam instantly. The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or it all. The intense analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event? Knocking that bear down ensures a win. Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying, that would be rough. Hey, I have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? The first one has the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomitake-san's take on the situation is pretty good. He gets what our club is about. Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it? That's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors. After a couple of matches, it ended up with Mion being first. I didn't want to end up first. Oh well. I'll just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun. Here you go. When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked it over intensely. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either. Okay, this gun is brand new, isn't it? No faults, not bad. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Fire! Reload. Fire! Reload. Fire! Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul! The crowd paused in a moment of awe, and then erupted in cheers. Whoa! Awesome! That was quite good! Tomitake-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess. Amazing, Nii-chan! 3! Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with a high return on investment. Who's up next? Satoko? Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her little body. For her lithe body? But it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight. Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize. She proclaimed that she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko, such a bold move. The moment she knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first. Good luck, Satoko-chan. Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger. Bah! These bullets are too light! The first 2 bullets struck the bear on the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head, or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but the candy box below its arm. I hate to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me. She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strange laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing! A fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better. The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went pump as it tapped down slightly on Satoko. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor. Magnificent. I'll allow you to take the bear, Hana-san. I pray for your victory. Okay. Thanks so much, Satoko-chan. Oh, bear sounds so cute. Rena was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as regular Rena, but she said the bear was cute. I wonder how Rena-chan will do. I hope she's able to hit at least one. You're underestimating Rena, Tomitake-san. Heh. It's Rena, you know. It's Rena Ryugyu, you know. If it was to get that teddy bear. Whoa! Tomitake-san wheeled around to see what was all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Rena Ryugyu could do it. Shaking. It's shaking. How cute. Rena couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Rena couldn't lose. Not bad, Rena-san. The less collected you become, the stronger you get. Whoa! Another big cheer. Rena's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before. But it might not be possible. You never know. With Rena's chance skill, it might be. While Tomotage-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. Ow! The crowd let out a dejected groan. The less collected you become, the stronger you get. That feels like foreshadowing. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but maybe. She has shot her right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt. Oh, Bear-san, take him home. Oh. She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Rena. That's for you, little lady. Huh? You're giving this to me? Oh. The gods wouldn't forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed after such a display. There was another shower of applause. Rena turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a good job. Your cute mode really had surprised me. Oh, I really wanted Mr. Bear. It was easy to see that it only needed a little more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll get it and give it to you. What? Tomotage-san had stolen the words right out of my mouth. Okay. Please, Tomotage-san. Good luck. Damn you, old man Tomotage! Stealing the good parts for yourself. A small hand stretched out and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration. You keep on fighting too, Katie, okay? Tomotage-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Why is he doing that? Yes, no doubt. Tomotage-san is aiming for... Whop. 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 The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking. So Tomotage-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before. But that was all. It still didn't fall over. Oh, too bad. All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned to a dejected sigh. I really thought it would work. Oh, it seems that since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy. That was it. It meant Tomotage-san had no spoils of war. So both Kei-chan and Rika-chan had to just shoot down a small easy prize and avoid being dead last. Avoid being the loser, huh? Oh, sorry about that. It's your turn. Next, Keiichi-kun. Best of luck. I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomotage-san. If I took the ruthless route as Mion has suggested, then I go for a small target. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion, passed down to me by Tomotage-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man. After all, that was my promise to Rena. Huh? What promise? What? To shoot down that bear, then give it to Rena, that one. You mean... Oh... The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. Woo! Cool Oni-tan. You got balls, man. That's not it. Fine, men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings? Keiichi-san sure talks the talk, but how do you actually intend to bring down the bear? Rena and Tomotaki-san's shots did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult. Keiichi-kun, if only there was some way to shoot faster, we'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit. Good luck, Keiichi-kun. After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy. 2 more rifles. Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves. I wonder what Keiichi-san is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once. I get it. Nice thinking, Kei-chan. Rena was able to figure it out magnificently. Basically, what was taking the most time was reloading the shot. That's right. Then, by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other, Tomotaki-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur. And then the crowd finally picked up on what was blah blah blah. Picked on what I was planning. Oh god. They let out a great cheer. They chanted my name. Keiichi! Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. Phew. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now! That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. I felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets, hit it, and knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second, the third. The bear swayed hard. And then... Woo woo! Yeah! Woo! The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me. You actually knocked it over. You got me! Amazing! Congratulations, Keiichi-kun! Keiichi-san has finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. I didn't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it, and the small bits together brought it down. Fucking heard woo woo was ooh woo. It was very weak cheers on my part, so that is fair. Ooh woo. Anyways, this trophy belongs to all of us. Right, this is from all of us working together. Me didn't hit it a single time. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena. Here, this is from me. No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Rena, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless. I can't, Keiichi-kun. This is everyone's after all. Oh. In that case, I was the one who knocked it down. And it's mine. It's mine, so I'm giving it to Rena. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time, she embraced it and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful, you see. Thanks a lot. Haha, Keiichi-kun. Thanks so much. Rena dove at me. Mia told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at that time. I remember what I was trying to say to Tomitake-san earlier. There really isn't much of anything here, but there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. From the altar set up in front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival. I'll be going off ahead then. Oh, I need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well then everyone, see you in a bit. Both Rika-chan and Tomitake-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd. I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now, shall we be off? Yeah, might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah, huh? Where's Rena? What are you doing? Keiichi-kun? Mii-chan, save me! Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. What is she doing? She must have her hands full taking care of that bear. So I'll leave Rena in your care, Kei-chan. I have my hands full taking care of Satoko. Who would want to be looked over by you, Mion-san? Ouch! Please don't pull on my arm. Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rena's collar. Keiichi-kun, not there. Don't grab me there. Always so bossy. Where can I grab then? How? I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto Rena's hand and dashed after Mion and the others. We're gonna be late. Let's hurry up. Yeah. I hadn't realized Rena's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition? That wasn't what I meant. Not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiichi Maibara," in my mind. But it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon. I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton and futons. Keiichi-san, Rena-san, we're over here. Satoko waved her hand from the front row. Sorry. Making our way through the masses of people, we reached the spot they'd saved. How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Rena? You punk! So that's what your plan was. Instead of replying, Mion gave us a perverse grin. Words. How was it, Rena? Was Keiichi-san's hand bigger than you thought it would be? How? Rena turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through the air. I turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face. Mion, when were you hit? Between the ha and ow of her how, I think. Rena, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment. I didn't hurt her. Whatever. How? Thump. The thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd. You must all be quiet. It's beginning. It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered dressed as the shrine maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. Oh, hi, Mark. Huh? I'm a little confused, but that's okay. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera. What's the big thing Rika-chan is holding? I did not hit her. I did not. Ah, I see. I know where this is going now. Oh, that's used for this festival. Oh, hello, doggy. Thank you, Catman. They're using hose here, guys. It's a sacred farming tool that only the Shrine Maiden may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. That is the word. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out futons? She's purifying futons that absorbed illness from people over the winter. So when Kei-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika-chan's face is already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. That hoe was probably real heavy, if you know what I mean. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Satoko looked on, silently lending her support. Worried? Rika practiced every single day with the mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail. Satoko's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the Shrine Maiden? It feels wrong, having Rika-chan swing around something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know. And well, it's not something just anyone could do. That's true. Shrine Maidens need to be pure after all. Mion drove her elbow into my side. With a thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and ascended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the specters stood up. Following after the priest, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river? Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know. I can words well. The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high and it was bright as day here too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. Alright, get in line. Line up, Keiichi-kun. I wondered what was up. Maybe we get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns? It's not food. I said it was cotton. But of course. They didn't call it Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Rana dove into the line and brought out some for me as well. Brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to bank the stream. We proceeded to the bank of the stream. Since it's your first time, Keiichi-kun, just copy what I do. She held the cotton in her right hand, and waving her hand as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs. You do this 3 times, and silently give thanks to Ayashiro-sama. Ayashiro-sama? What's that? The name of the shrine's god? Yes, that's the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. It brings both miracles and curses, so you must be sure to show respect. That sounded like a pretty frightening god. But well, when in Rome, I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Rena showed me, I touched the clouding over myself 3 times. Thank you, Yashiro-sama. Thank you, Yashiro-sama. Yashiro-sama. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the clouding. Then you let it gently drift away on the stream, and you're done. Together, Rin and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the evil festering in Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa. Cute, 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 cute. Very good. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this place now. This is where I live, my home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomoitake-san's. I headed towards it. How did it go, Tomoitake-san? Were you able to get some good shots? Yeah, fortunately. Tomoitake-san was the girl. I felt a little like I was intruding. How was it, Keiichi-kun? Did you enjoy the festival? From the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident of Hinamizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her name? Well, it was fun. My face must have given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a light-hearted chuckle. It's probably because it hasn't been long since you moved here. It's pretty hard to believe seeing how friendly you've done with the other kids. If that's how it looked, it was probably all thanks to Rena and Neon. Perhaps they feel more like a resident of Hinamizawa after taking part in the festival today? I wonder about that. No, that's not like you. Yeah, I tried to get used to Hinamizawa. But there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd met, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well. Oh, you're feeling left out because of something like that? It's not so much... It's not so much as feeling left out. It's just... I'm not sure how to say it. The incident at the dam construction site. The fighting over it and the other conflicts. That terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Hinamizawa, it wasn't wrong to want to know about both the good and bad that had happened here. It'll put you at ease, and I'll tell you everything I know. Tomoitake-san smiled, made me more relieved than I'd ever been. It was hard to think of what to ask when someone said, "Ask me anything," though. Even though there was so much I wanted to ask. Even when there was so much I wanted to ask. Words. Then, could you tell me about what happened when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Hinamizawa was going to be submerged, right? I think the locals would be more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though. Tomoitake-san's entered. Tomoitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next major project after Kurobe. There were 3 major issues in Japan at that time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus that provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam constructions, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was completed. The entire area, right up to Yogoichi Waste upstream, would be underwater. But why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? Couldn't they have picked Couldn't they have instead picked a place where nobody lived? I'm not really sure why, but I heard that it was just the right terrain for building a dam. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika-chan had said there was a battle. From that choice of words, I had to guess things had turned violent. There was a trial, and it was even brought up before the National Diet. It was covered in Tokyo newspapers, too. Leon had told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity you found here. Freaking. Okay, give me a moment to drink a little bit. That'll probably help. Maybe. Not really. Okay. The feeling of solidarity found here, which cannot be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle. As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things got more and more complicated, they eventually halted construction. If I wanted to know, now is my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little ashamed for the fact that I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rena and Neon's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance. Just so I could stop thinking about it so much. So, there was dismemberment, right? There was. I happened to be here in Hinamizawa at the time, so I remember it well. Tomoitake-san's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced out question. It was about this time, 4 years ago. It was the day of Watanagashi, if I recall correctly. Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in the victim being murdered. Fearing prosecution, the 6 assailants divided their remains into 6 pieces and each hid one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he'd hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Rena and Neon needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who had just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it. It was near the end of all the trouble with the dam, you see. So everyone was saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god of the shrine that held the festival today, if I had recalled correctly. I see. The guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa. Apparently the younger ones didn't think so. But it seems the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman with Tomoitake-san said with a mischievous chuckle. Tomoitake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious I ended up laughing as well. But I wonder about now. There are quite a few, I think. Amongst the youth, too. A few what? People who believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman's lips were still curled into a smile, but her expression turned stern. Then after that, it continued every year. Always around this time. Continued? What continued? Tomoitake-san paused for a second, as if to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me, as if someone might have been listening. Every year, on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody dies. The year following the dismemberment, on the day of the Watanagashi, a man from Hinamizawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died while he was on vacation. Unfortunately for his wife, the body was never recovered. He supported the dam construction even though he lived in Hinamizawa. At the time, there were whispers amongst the elderly saying it was a Yashiro-sama's curse. The woman chuckled mischievously again. Then the next year, the night of the Watanagashi, the shrine's Shinto priest died suddenly from an unknown illness. His wife drowned her in the bog that night. The shrine's Shinto's priest. You mean he was from the shrines here? Why did I read that so wrong? The shrine's Shinto priest. You mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded. There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Yashiro-sama's anger. Then the year after that, again on the night of the Watanagashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife. Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam or had connections to Yashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too? Exactly, the woman stated slyly. No, it was more menacingly. Suddenly what little I've seen of the new anime makes so much sense. Honestly, the new anime, I really like how they executed things. Like, they snuck in a lot more, like, visual details that the visual novel hasn't been able to give, because visual novel. So I really like how they approach things. But I also do still kind of like the original anime too, although that experience is more of a blur because I watched all 24 episodes in like 24 hours. Not the brightest move. But yeah, no, the way the new anime has handled everything's been pretty good. One of the victim's relatives, you see, was connected to the younger brother of the dam supporter who fell to his death 2 years before. The younger brother is still alive, it seems. But it did bother him quite a bit, so he moved to the neighboring town. For a while, I stood there with my mouth agape. The battle over the dam construction, with Hinamizawa's future at stake. And the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses. But the freakish deaths happen every year on the day of the Watanagashi, and all of them were related to the dam construction? It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves. But when you put them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year, on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody or something makes it happen without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up on what I was thinking. I mean, IRL, this would be a pretty clear case of a serial killer, or even a deadly cult. Wait, shit. I felt like she was saying, maybe there was, maybe we frightened him, stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Tomitake-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then, so someone died the next year, right? Who was it that time? I wonder. Who do you think, Keiichi-kun? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question. I'm serious here. Hey, calm down, Keiichi-kun. I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking. We aren't trying to avoid the question, Keiichi-kun. It's just, when you say the next year, that's today. But she hesitated to say it. Tomotage-san finished for her. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed. Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight. The festival was so cheerful, though. Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. It turns out she didn't even attend the Watanagashi Festival. There was a rumor going around that if you didn't participate in the festival, you would incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. Didn't you hear anything about this, Keiichi-kun? I never even heard a whisper of that rumor. But then the reason everyone was at the festival was they were afraid of the curse? I figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot more people at the Watanagashi Festival. There were a lot more people at the Watanagashi than usual. I guess everyone was just afraid after all of Oyashiro-sama's curse. I couldn't utter a single word. In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, where black and white television has been eradicated and we've sent men to the moon. Even with all our accomplishments, it's gonna exist in modern society? Tons of invitations were sent out to neighboring towns' youth groups to help pad the numbers. But after that string of events, few decided to join. The municipal committee members were complaining about how hard it was to gather participants. Also, the police were treating each case as isolated. They don't believe they're connected. They're trying to keep it quiet, so it's all plainclothes officers. It's finally begun to dawn on me why Rena and Neon were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during this Watanagashi, everything would have been over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, we'd all end up being just crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual. Maybe it was just too much for him after all. The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed. No, it wasn't. Not at all. I had tried to act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomotage-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor. Keiichi-kun, surely you don't believe in such things as curses. Well, no. If the causes of all the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods all mysteries, then I would think it's the work of a curse. But that's not how things are in reality. The police are investigating the evidence and suspects to uncover the truth. Hearing him say police made me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse. The first one, the dismemberment, for example. I told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. It's only a matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to have been an argument they had while intoxicated. That's no curse. Don't you agree? That was true. If it hadn't happened on the day of the Watanagashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all. The accidental death of the man who supported the dam is the same. He was in a position that made others hate him, The police made a point of investigating from that angle. They concluded it was an accident, not foul play. But they both happened on the same day But they both happened on the day of the festival, right? Ha ha ha. Just think about it, Keiichi-kun. Do you think people with a lot of enemies here in Hinamizawa could participate easily in a local festival? I guess that's true. It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watanagashi. So they probably left Hinamizawa intentionally around this time of year to travel, don't you think? Welcome Fumichu. Well, I guess that was an appropriate thing. You've probably been there. But welcome to speaking in the chat once more. It wasn't a very clear explanation, but I sort of understood what Tomotaki-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself. Then, Tomotaki-san, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness? That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. The Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It's probably from all the built-up stress. Or it may have been because of a pre-existing condition. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe something with an unknown cause could exist with all our advances in medicine. It was just an exaggeration. Rumors making rumors. Anyone would get worked up over having incidents happen 2 years in a row. The sudden death is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died. But there wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know? Turns out it was just a sudden death due to an illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who are of strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of the curse. And of course that included the priest's wife. Apparently they found a suicide note that said something like, "My death will quell Oyashiro-sama's anger." Well then, how about the next incident, with the housewife? That happened on the day of the Watanagashi too. The perpetrator had already been caught and the case has been closed. Turns out it was just some nutjob trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse. Then, how about the incident the next year? Oh yeah. This year is the next year. Tomotaki-san gave a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with. It's just that a group of people believed it was the explanation for a string of coincidences. My eternal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Keiichi-kun really does love Hinamizawa, even if Oyashiro-sama's curse actually did exist. Keiichi-kun couldn't bring himself to believe that such a thing existed. I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Retta and Neon tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'd probably also like tonight to end without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on. Well then, I should be getting back. Goodness, I think I may have gone on a bit too long. There were so many people compared to the crowd from before, could only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we talked for the better part of an hour. Didn't you come along with your friends, Keiichi-kun? Not going to look for them? Oh, yeah. They might be looking for me. You're quite the scoundrel, making the girls look for you. See you, Keiichi-kun. Have a nice night. You too, Jiro-san. I'll see you a bit later. Tomotaki-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself. So his name is Jiro. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds. Keiichi-kun, so sorry. In her place, Rena came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil. My bad, Kei-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion. I completely forgotten about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even. My, so Tomitake-san was with you. This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. That's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but with all 3 shots completely missed. She was said to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. However, she did her little mewing cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster. I have no idea what Keiichi is talking about. Now then, let's decide that Tomitake-san is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. So, Tomitake-san, are you ready? Penalty time! Huh? Oh, I completely forgot about that. You're too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why our club can never lose. Mion pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. It just has to be permanent. It comes off when you do the laundry anyway. Whoa, what is this? Please take it easy on me. All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with a marker in one hand. And squip, squip, squip. But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You'd better have for your big break this year, Mion. Rena took up the marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay? Rena. It was a little heartwarming, and I just had to laugh. Haha, this is more like a farewell card than a penalty. I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make this a proper penalty. Haha, dead last, Satoko. Try harder next time, Rika. Here you go, Keiichi-san. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty? Of course! You better wear it all the way home. You could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red. Understood. I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest party gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing next to the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake-san noticed her too, and knew it was time to leave. Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Haha. Tomitake-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually, he faded into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. He's gone. Well, it's about time we take off too. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were... Thank you, dog. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. The walk back was quite lively, with talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Ren and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house, and I parted ways with Rena as well. It's already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run too. If you run into some weirdo, just yell. If someone does come, will you come and save me? Maybe? Maybe? If I hear you. Oh, okay. I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine in that mode. Not even an adult could stand against her. Rena's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not even a single person even whispered about. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up being just crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad. Nothing at all. What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside. You'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi Festival? In the end, your father didn't wake up. So I missed it. A little disappointing. Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. Wowie. Who do you guys think will die? I'm curious. Especially those of you who don't know anything. I'm curious. Higurashi be like very normal school life things contrasted with abject horror. Indeed. That's how it do be. I want to say Keiichi, but I also feel like that might fucked with a murder mystery spiel to kill him off so early. And it's quite pulled. I mean, I guess I might as well say it. No, I won't. Never mind. I mean, if not Keiichi, who do you think would die instead? Satoko? Why Satoko? Yeah, I got nothing. Well, I guess if this chapter 1 part covers it, which it probably will, because we have, like, a bit more of story left to go, you might be in for a surprise with your uncertainty here. But anyways...